Hey guys, it's Parker here, back with part 7 of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Okay, let's continue this Sherlock investigation then. With observation, my dear fellow, just as I said, of these two prevaricators. Observation? If you remember, Mr. Naruhodo, we know that somebody tried to fabricate evidence, don't we? By tampering with the scene of Mr. Asogi's death. What we're looking for is some trace of evidence that one of these two was there when it happened. Precisely, you're delightfully quick to grasp my meaning. Alright, I'll see what I can see. So we're looking for a trace of evidence, okay. What suggests that someone else is there at the scene? Oh, what is this ink stain you got there?
Yes!
Seaman Stroganoff, you seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white uniform there. Yes, I don't know where the dirt comes from. So nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain. What are you trying to say? It would appear that the significance of the stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Oh, to make us plain. It's a very large purple stain, and I think what made it is clear. Indeed it is. So, Mr. Naruhodo, present the evidence that proves it. My pleasure. Alright then. The evidence.
Yes!
Yes, it's this photograph and the ink it shows. That's what caused the stain on your uniform. Ink? A rather unusual color of ink, purple. The penny drops at last. Now you see the significance. The Russian word on the floor next to the victim's body was written in purple ink. And the stain on the back of your uniform is ink of exactly the same color. If the ink had been dry, it couldn't possibly have stained your uniform that way, which means you must have been present in the cabin in the moments immediately after the ink was spilled. Alright, yes. It was me. I did it. Everything. I arranged everything in dead student's cabin to make it look like Waterman did it. Then I pressed the button to make Buria do emergency stop and both cabin doors shut. I did everything so no one would suspect our angel. Biff, please. Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. It was after 1 in the morning. I was on duty patrolling passageway. Then our angel came to me. She was white like sheet. Biff, please, you must help me. I went with her. The door to cabin number 1 was open. When I looked inside, I saw student boy on floor. What happened here? Please, don't tell anyone. My little one, my little furry friend. Everything that happened in cabin is like Angel told you. The kitten escaped through the ventilator to Mr. Asogi's cabin. Then he tripped over and broke his neck when he fell to the floor? Yes, that is right. So after the incident when the cat ran away, Miss Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers? Only to find his occupant lying lifeless on the floor. She said she was worried when she heard sound of something falling on the floor. That's when she went to look. No, Angel? The door was not locked, so she opened to look and you already know what happened after. There's just one thing, if you wouldn't mind. What? When you went to Mr. Asogi's cabin, Miss Pavlova, was he already dead? Why? I already told you! When Nina opened the door, I was asking Miss Pavlova. Well, Miss Pavlova? Oh. Yes, that is right. I saw him. It was dark and he was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. I understand, and I believe you. So, is that finally it now? Have you discovered the real truth about Kazuma's death at last? Ah, something very nearly slipped my mind. Oh, Mr. Sholmes? This photograph. Yes, I took this myself, you know. The cause of death was a broken neck, therefore the victim died instantly. And the unfortunate incident that precipitated these events, a kitten on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, there's one particular area in this photograph that seems to be somewhat unnatural. What do you mean unnatural? What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, well. If Kazuma tripped and fell, and by some terrible stroke of bad luck broke his neck, which part of this photograph of Prince seems unnatural?
Yes!
Alright, if he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then this fist just doesn't seem quite right. The exact same thought occurred to me. In a fall, one's instinct is to open the palms flat. Yet here we see the victim's left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say, as though he were gripping something. What do you mean? Simply that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago. You did? And what, pray, do you imagine I found here, my dear fellow? Mr. Sholmes, show us, please. Why, of course, my dear madame. Why would I keep you in suspense? This is what I found. An earring? A crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle? Yes, you're right. A crescent moon. It's very pretty, but what does it tell us? It tells us nothing. I'm not so sure. That crescent moon looks familiar somehow. It looks like frickin' her earring. Observation, Miss Naruhodo. That's the key. What? The truth is now tantalizingly close. How did that crescent moon come to be in Kazuma's clenched fist? This is the final clue, the last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? And observe, find the answer with your own eyes.
Yes!
Miss Pavlova, in your ear there. I see a crescent moon as well. What? And on your other ear, there seems to be a crescent moon missing. The little link holding it on must have broken somehow. Now, the missing crescent moon is found in the victim's clenched fist. Clearly, there's only one logical conclusion. There was a fight. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes. Miss Pavlova, Mr. Asogi must have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it from her ear, perhaps just moments before it fell to the floor. In other words, last night in Mr. Asogi's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him. But then the question is, why did Mr. Asogi do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist during his final moments? Oh no. Angel? No one can protect you now. Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma? Dog. When I think about everything that happened yesterday, it was too much. Running away, the fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb into this huge ship, and then when I was at last in this cabin, I could relax after this horrible long day. Darka, wait! I couldn't believe it when she disappeared through the ventilator. I tried to call her with a little whistle. I tried waving her favorite toy, but nothing worked. Darka would not come back. What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. The young man from your country, he was very polite and kind. He helped me find Gartarka and he promised not to tell anyone. But then, when I had my friend in my arms again, I was going to leave the man's cabin. Just a moment, sorry, but... Oh, yes? I'm sure I know your face. I've seen you somewhere before. Of course, you're Nikolina Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina. Huh? No, I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from a land in the faraway east know a Russian ballerina? Yes, I saw a performance in Japan. The beauty of the ballet made a deep impression on me. But what are you doing on this ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment. I can't fool him. I have to tell him the truth and hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no other choice. I see, so you've run away. Please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone. Give me a moment. I can use their opinion here. He's going to pull that cord. He's going to tell the captain. Why did I think I could trust him? Then it happened. Everything at once. It was only a second, but it felt like forever. Wait! I shouted, and then... Darko jumped out of my arms and down to the young man's feet. And... as he turned around to look at me... I pushed him. I don't even know why. I don't know why I did it. I was just so scared. And I had to stop him from telling anyone about me. And that's when he went to fetch help from Seaman Stroganov, who was on duty out in the passageway. I hear Nina cry out, "Untitled on floor," so I ran to her. She was standing at the cabin door, shaking like grief. She looked at me and said, "Help me, Beef. If they find out, I'll be pleased. I have nowhere to go." So he decided to help. And that's when he arranged things in Kazuma's cabin to make it look like I did it, so that no one would suspect the passenger in the cabin next door. Yes, I went into cabin and I looked around to make sure there was nothing to show Nina was there. And then I found Stowaway in wardrobe, still sleeping. Right, that's when he found me. So you worked out a plan to lay the blame on the Stowaway. I closed wardrobe doors and put back strange paper sign. Luckily for me, that's the only reason Susato-san started to believe me when I said I was innocent. I dragged young man's body to a good place and used ink that was spilling to write on floor. I wrote that so that person who found it would look inside wardrobe and find Stowaway. And tell me, what did the god spell? It was by my feet, so I picked it up. I see. But it was dark in the cabin and I didn't notice the other half. Then Angel went back to her cabin and I finished job by pressing the emergency alarm button in the passageway. Yes. Accordingly, the SS Bureau did indeed come to an emergency halt at a little after 2 a.m., thus enticing the bolt on the cabin door to slide shut, creating the locked room mystery. There's still one thing I don't understand, Miss Pavlova. What? Well, you said that you told Kazuma the fact that you ran away from homeland, and it's because you worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him. Isn't that right? Yes, but even if he had pulled the bell cord and called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem? It was what he said first that made me scared. What he said first? What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Oh, because he was talking about a freaking inspector. He said an inspector was his friend. Yes, meaning me, who was supposed to be acting as his bodyguard. I thought that if the police knew about me, they'd arrest me. So before I could pull the bell cord, I May I stop you a moment, please, Miss Pavlova? It doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, was Mr. Asogi really going to pull the bell cord? I don't know. What? What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, I'm not Kazuma, so I can't know for certain, but... He was a man of this word. If he told you you want to give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done. No, he was walking over to it. He was going to pull the cord. He was going to make them send me back. No, he was walking to the wardrobe to listen to Naruhodo's opinion. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, the day's work is not yet done, it seems. There's one more deduction to make. What? Another deduction? Yes, what action was the victim really about to take at that moment? Can we determine whether the young man's gaze was directed? First, consider the victim's location within his cabin. That's easy, I remember every detail of that room. I mean, yes, I spent quite a lot of time in the wardrobe, but still. That cabin has been my home for this entire voyage. So this is how the cabin looked last night when Miss Pavlova visited Kazuma-sama? Yes, it's exactly how it was. Are you ready then, Miss Naruhodo? Yes, there's one thing I've learned today. It's that a simple gaze can reveal all manner of truths. And not only that, in order to draw the right conclusion. You can't afford to be out by even a little bit when you're following the gaze to where it lands. So, when he turned away from Miss Pavlova, what exactly was Kazuma looking at? He was looking at the wardrobe because he wanted to freaking talk to Naruhodo.
Take that!
Considering everything that happened last night, certainly may look as though Kazuma was going to ring the bell cord. Yes, however, what is directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe. The wardrobe? And more importantly, what's inside the wardrobe? His best friend. Miss Pavlova, please, think back very carefully. What were Mr. Asogi's exact words last night? Give me a moment, I could use another opinion here. Another opinion? Yes, but not for a member of the crew. No, Mr. Asogi intended to consult his close friend on the matter. To see if between them they might be able to help in some way, no doubt. Oh no. Sadly, we can't know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. But I wish you made sure of what Mr. Asogi was looking at. Things may have ended very differently if you had. Miss Pavlova, I want to thank you for finally admitting the truth. But unfortunately, the truth is a man lost his life because of what you did, and that will never change. I hope you'll never forget that. I'm sorry. Really, I'm so sorry. What have I done? And so at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident on the Esesperia was finally laid to rest. What will happen to Miss Pavlova now then? Once you reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to British police at Scotland Yard. What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? Won't the Russians try to repatriate her? Apparently the English detectives speak to the immigration office and sort all that out. Mr. Scholes can do that? So she won't be going back to Russia then? No, I don't think so. Even if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she'll be able to. She ran away, so now she's in exile for life. I see. I'm sorry. Seaman Stroganoff? I wanted to help our angel, no matter what. But I didn't think about you, about how you lost, good friend. I will go with Nina. I will give myself to British police. That's kind of you. In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Kazuma's death Feels like such a waste, but... Well, do what you can for Miss Pavlova, won't you? Da. Even if a friend dies, you just gotta continue on, you know? Well, I'm afraid you need to pack now. We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. I'm going to have to hand you to the consul to arrange your passage back to Japan. Yes. I did stowaway after all. I couldn't really expect any different. So, we should get back to your cabin now. It looks like my study tour to Great Britain is over before it's even begun then. To think that only days ago, Cousin and I were laughing together about how we tear up the streets of London. That seems like a distant memory now. Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping? Susato-san? Naruhodo-san, I didn't know I returned. Oh, well, I haven't been back long. Inspector Hosonaga-san, just told me I should pack, you know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that. It's okay to cry. I still can't believe this happened. I can't believe someone's life can be over just like that. Susato-san. He had such grand ideas for this visit to Great Britain, so many dreams. And now they've been cruelly taken away, just as he has. I thought I could never forget the person responsible, but now we know the truth. That was just an accident. Just a silly series of mishaps. It's too much, Naruto-san. It's just too much. Yes, I know. I wish there was something I could say. Inspector? My duty was to see Asogi-san safe to Great Britain, but I failed. I caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I've let everyone down. And I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder. Nobody blames you, Inspector. And I'm free again, but huh? Surprise, Mr. Naruhodo! What is the meaning of this? Oh, a trifling matter. Somebody put that in my head. I think I should always picture you wearing those shackles. Without them, the balances are wrong and it's distracting. Sorry, so I decided to restore them for old time's sake, shall we? You are a stowaway after all. Ha 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 ha. He thinks this is funny. Mr. Scholes. We do appreciate all your assistance. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Not at all, not at all. Though it's a little late, may I offer my sincere condolences. The loss of your companion is truly heart-rending. I hope that you'll be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor. I'm afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking at the next port in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report about everything that's happened. What? Wait a minute. It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was a stowaway. The terms of this study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. It was to be one lawyer and one assistant. Was to be? In the light of Mr. Sogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. Oh no, I don't care for me, but... Poor Susato-san. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know? All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely. But there's no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Scholes. You know no other lawyer. Qualifications, you say? Any qualifications obtained in your own country would be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid. Oh, but anyway, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer. Yes. Mrs. Sato? Yes? Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it? But you're not a lawyer, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, unless... Are you studying law? No, I'm not, but... I'm sorry, in that case, I don't think there's even a chance it could work. But as you said, there's still more than a month before you reach England's shores. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I have a month in which to study, to learn what it must to become a lawyer in Great Britain. A month, Mr. Naruhodo? That's ridiculous! Oops. Are you seriously suggesting anybody could learn all of that in just 40 days? There's only one way to find out. Hey, you never know until you try, right? I'll work my fingers to the bone, Inspector, every single day. Will you let me try? And if, by the time I reach Great Britain, I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate. But why put yourself in such a difficult position for his best friend? For Kazuma. He said that there was something I had to do in Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He was passionate about it. I can't let all that passion just come to nothing. And anyway, it's for my own benefit too. I will become a lawyer. I have to. What do you say, Mrs. Sato? I think it's a wonderful idea. Thank you. So, what does our bespectacled inspector friend say? Are you serious? One lawyer, one assistant. The numbers are indisputable. No, it's madness. Yet fascinating, wouldn't you agree? Fascinating? Duty and rules are the dual routine and persistence that we all abhor. Give us interest. Give us fascination. Speak for yourself. Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is his character, no? And you've witnessed the ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today with your own eyes. From the early hours this morning until this very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion, and despite the accusation of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage. Very well. I'll think of a clever way to word my report to the Department of Justice. Inspector! After all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? I said that I'd do anything at all to make up for my shortcomings here. Oh, thank you, Inspector. If you excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. I need to discuss what to do next and how best to make my report. Are you really prepared to attempt this, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I'm going to try. I wonder, would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer? If you put your mind into it, you can do anything. I would be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant after all. Thank you. And Mr. Naruhodo, I'd like you to take charge of this. What? Me? Are you sure? I'm sure it's what Kazuma-sama would have wanted. Its name is Karuma. It's a great sword that's been the Sogi clan for generations. Very well, I accept. I'll treasure it always. So then, Mrs. Sato, it seems to be working together for some time to come yet. It will be an honor, Mr. Naruhodo. And for the next 40 days, I shan't grant you a single minute of freedom. We shall fill every spare moment with study. Yes, that's exactly what I need. You can learn a lot in a month if you start something. But before we begin, I shall have an earnest favor to ask of you too. Goodness, what is it? Please throw me to the ground 3 times? What? I should never have doubted you. You were Kazuma-sama's closest friend. Of course you would never have done anything to hurt him. That should have been obvious to me from the start. But I allowed suspicion to get the better of me. And no matter how upset I was feeling, it was completely unforgivable behavior. No, you're in shock. You just... no, I won't let you make excuses for me. Whatever the circumstances, I should never have thrown you, and not just once, but 5 times. The number keeps creeping up, doesn't it? Please, you must. Just take hold of me and throw me. Do it. Don't even think about it. No. I don't even know how I've never thrown anyone in my life. Very wise, Miss Naruto. It isn't a skill one acquires without considerable training. Oh, Mr. Jones. I observed your throwing technique several times with great interest. I confess I was most interested. When did he see that? I presumed that would be form of Japanese wrestling. It looked like judo to me. Oh, well, in a way it's not wrestling, but my own interpretation of an ancient jujutsu technique. Apparently it's called the Susato takedown. It leaves your head swimming, believe me. How beguiling. I am a practitioner of the combative arts myself. I'm a somewhat accomplished boxer. Ooh. There he goes, dancing around again. I wonder if you'd be so kind as to instruct me on the technique of your arresting throw. Yes, I'd be honored. Then let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madame. Oh, of course. Are you ready, Mr. No? What? Sorry. Hiya! Why? As you can see, you throw from the abdomen. Oh yes, arresting indeed. And that's what you turn this Susato takedown, is it? Actually, no. That's a Susato squash? Wow. In my groggy state of consciousness, a scene from an evening recently spent with Kazuma flickered into my mind. Karuma? That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down to generations of the Sogi clan. I can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, taking a katana and study tour is more than a little irregular, surely? A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me, I truly believe that. So Snake compels his wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. I will sacrifice anything to make it happen. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through the end with you. They're so gay. I knew you wouldn't let me down. That important thing he had to do. I still don't know what that was. But I'm going to see the place for myself and work it out. In Great Britain's capital, London. But we're gonna continue. I still have some time. Alright, episode 3, The Adventure of the Runaway Room.
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night. Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner. My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident, "I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude. The beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together."
Amazing. amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
In that case, the Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure. I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay. And welcome to the centre of the world, Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
This place really gives me a lot of Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney vibes, like for that game. Like you could tell that this game was like inspired by freaking PL versus AA. Man, I really enjoyed that game. When is that gonna be on the Switch? Okay, yeah, let's look at this office then. What an incredible place. It's so imposing, it's almost suffocating. This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress. There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. But they've only been built in a few short decades since they opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this is quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from. It's certainly unfamiliar. But I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials. What is this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruto-san, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. The Lord Chief Justice. We had instructions to report at this time if the circumstances were different. We're supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan. But Kazuma can't. No, so instead we are here in a different capacity. As envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Yes. And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done. So we'd have to return to Japan. If we want to remain here in Great Britain, I have to take Kazuma's place as the law student selected for the study tour. Yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer, which is what I've been studying for. Here in Great Britain, it's the Lord Chief Justice who appoints the lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London. I hope I'm up to scratch. Good morning. Sorry for keeping you. Oh. I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. I don't know how to voice this guy. It seems I'm in 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies. Oh, no, don't mention it. We never happy that when we're standing around with nothing much to do. How fortunate. So, introductions. I am Miles Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. Ugh, I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Come on, Mr. Naruhodo, don't be a mouse. Oh, it's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I'm Ryusuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Yes, thank you. This guy's so intimidating. So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London? Oh, well, help! I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city. It's simply splendid, isn't it, Miss Naruhodo? Oh? We had a wonderful view of some of London's streets from a carriage on the way here from the station. Everything is so impressive and grand, I must say I'm almost lost for words. I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water and gas, and capable of supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded. Oh yes, astounded is the word. Thanks for saving me there, Susato-san. And everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor. Yes, there's much excitement about the upcoming Great Exhibition we'll be hosting here in London. Great Exhibition? Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris World Fair look like a toy shop. Gosh, gosh, holy jolly gee gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be. Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world. Even if you do say so yourself. To someone upset on our great empire. Perhaps it is fate that these progressive times we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun. Okay. Lord Chief Justice, I think you're expecting a student of law for the study tour, weren't you? Absolutely. Mr. Kazuma Sogi, if my memory serves. That's right. The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores. That's amazing. The news reached him before he even arrived. My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news. Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person. They tell me you Japanese are people of protocol and courtesy. I see that is true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young liar means the study tour arrangement can no longer proceed. If you would just hear us out, Miss Lord Strongheart. What do you have to say, madame? It's about the study tour. Miss Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal. Would he now? Well, Miss Naruhodo, this is it then, the moment of truth. Okay. The thing is, Lord Justice Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you consider allowing the study tour to go ahead. Don't misunderstand me. Britain will ideally like to see the tour go ahead, but without a liar from a country, there's nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another liar from Japan, I mean. Is there something I don't know? Only a single liar was invited to Great Britain from a country, and that was Mr. Sogi. At least, that's what I've been led to understand. Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man. Mrs. Naruhodo, I could ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I going to say? If there's someone else here from Japan who could be described as a liar, it's me! It's me, I could do it! Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but no qualifications to say, and he still claimed to be a liar. I have acted as a liar in court before, only once as it happens, and I had Kazuma tell me, and I was accused but glossing over the details. I've been spending every sermon on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on board the SS Buria. The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe, not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training. I realize it's far too short a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Sogi's journey had only just begun. Coming here on this study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on to do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have some overly inflated opinion of myself, but I will do anything to prove that what I have, what it takes. Any test you care to send me. Just one chance, that's all I'm asking for. Please. 31 seconds. Sorry? Your opening statement there, Mr. Hodo. It was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I will say. Which is a skill that will stand you in a good stead as a lawyer. Oh, thanks. So, you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment, huh? Just let me ask you one thing first, sir. Yes? You say you intend to do everything Mr. Sogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path? Well, yes, that's my intention. I see. Am I imagining things, or did this expression just alter a fraction there for a second? Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. Really? Test? So what form will the test take exactly? Tell me, Mr. Hellholder, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well, defending people, of course. Well said, so let's have you defend someone. Huh? Your timing is perfect, in fact. Just an apt trial about to begin later today. No applicants have been appointed for the defense as yet, so this will be welcome news. Today? Straight away? If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you have passed my test. What could be simpler? How do I get myself into these situations? Well, could I ask what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart? Yes, good question. Ah, I remember. It's a murder trial. A murder? An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose. That's easy to say, but I should mention just in case. If the defendant is found guilty, he will of course be sentenced to capital punishment. Capital punishment? He'll be put to death? Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably you read that much in your short C-based introduction to British law. We can't possibly agree to such a test. We will be toying with a man's life. I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable. But you can't do that, can you? There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose. So the defendant may live or die depending on how well I perform in court. If I lose, he'll be hanged. Mr. Naruhodo, you come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Sogi. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make it happen. He's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be? What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? I'll do it! It's for Sogi. Alright then, if I have to give you a decision now, my answer is I can't get the words out. 15 seconds. Your decision making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it sounds like suspected, is it? Sorry? You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire a ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over. Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance. Mrs. Naruhodo, I'm sorry, Mrs. Sato, but what could I do? It's alright, I understand. You do? It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, but resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it. What are you trying to say, madame? I think what Mrs. Sato means is that no matter how badly I like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of these clients, the particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting precious time, Lord Chief Justice. Wait, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, was there something else? It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you'll still be there in time. But I just said that I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What? At this point, I can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. Whoops. He'll receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down. But that's awful. But that is the truth. Why does it have to be like this? Please don't expect an answer to every question. The cold, hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you. I'm really his only hope? So, what do you say now, madame? Me? What do you mean, Miss Lord Strongheart? You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, and I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Oh. Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves. He's gone. Out of my life. The Old Bailey. If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once. Alright, here we go, I guess. To the Old Bailey. Oh, thank goodness we're in time. Just still 15 minutes until the trial begins. I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were going to rattle loose. Did you hear what I said to the driver when he climbed aboard? Guess we're at destination 5 minutes, driver. There's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines of the Herlock Sholmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly. I'm not quite sure why you're pleased. I thought we were going to die and we had to pay gold for the privilege. Well, I see you're right here before the trial started. Yes, I suppose there's that. Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all. So this is the Old Bailey. It was just room for defendants to wait in. It's grand. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives you the same sense of forbidding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building... Oops. Building itself is going to crush whatever is about to be sentenced. It feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed. Yes, whoever the man you're to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment. Top of the morning to ya, madame, sir. What are yours doing for me here? Things are very desperate, are they? Sorry? Would you look at these expressionless faces? When do these start, yours? We're from Japan, yes. Ah, Japan, is it right? Say no more. So, how much do yours need? No, we're just here because... No need to explain, but I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, better pay to your name and all while in a strange faraway land. I have no idea what I'm doing for this guy. I don't know what kind of accent he is. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay at, no. 'Tis grand. Let me start by giving you 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. Huh? 1,000 guineas? Please, Mrs. Sato, you don't have to shout. But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo. What? 'Tis That's nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I have enough bills to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over. Could that much rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Ah, that hit me in the eye. Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it to ya. No strings attached. I'll be wanting you to do something for me. Oh, to be honest, it's a little embarrassing. The trial is about to begin, you see. It's for me, good self here. I'll be in the dock. So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about the thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me, nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial is going to start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice was just making it all up. I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? Blustering blazes, do yo's don't know who I am? Me? One of London's biggest names? No, sorry, I've only just arrived in the city, you see. I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park there in the center of London is another beautiful park. Sorry, a park? What? This is called McGilded Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated the city, so I did. An entire park in central London? A city of smiles is my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people. That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. But now the gods say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGilded. What is the matter with the London police, I ask ya? Alright, don't pass out. Mrs. Naruhodo. Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves so the gentleman catches his breath. Good idea. Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students wanting to study tour for Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put up, what was I about just saying, you daft idiot? I've given you a dozen guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering you to just stand up there next to you. Oh, I think I know what's going on here. Sorry, I know what you're thinking. This Chancellor fellow claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why the place is kinda hard to find his lawyer in all of England? Because he did it. That's the only explanation. Well. Yeah? Yes, exactly. What now? Well, like you said, if you have no money, but you don't have anyone to represent you in court, there's no other logical conclusion that you're guilty of the charges. Well, you call a spade in East, so you do. Oh, I'm sorry, didn't mean any offense. I still can't express myself very well in English, you see. I'm never sure what's acceptable to say and what isn't so. Is that so? Because you sound fluent enough when you were telling me what a blackguard I must be. I'm terribly sorry. I don't like this guy. I can't say that I blame him for thinking it, fella. It is a little strange to be honest. Why don't you have a lawyer? I mean, that'll be the fault of the Reaper. Sorry, did you just say Reaper? Hey, the Green Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Barak Van Zeeks. He's the prosecutor. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? Whenever Van Zeeks stands for the prosecution, they call the accused sacrificial lambs. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. What? So it's reached a desperate situation, where there's no one willing to stand in defense against the fellow at all. You could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey. Goodness, Lord Barak Van Zeeks. He must be a exceptionally talented prosecutor then. Talented is the word you're looking for, madame. It's curse. Curse? What on earth? The defendant Simon and his counsel, please make your way to the courtroom. The trial is about to begin. His counsel, that'll be me. Oh, 'tis time. Well done, fella. Don't let me down. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened. Until you showed your face here. I made up my mind to see. Sorry? I decided to defend myself in there. How would that have worked? But then you made an appearance as student law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident, I'm sure at that. 'Tis fate. But don't get cold feet now, please. Oh boy. I literally know nothing about the case about this man who stands accused. In fact, there's only one thing I know, is that I can't just turn my back on him. Mr. Naruhodo. The man is no one. He had to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, something that Kazuma never allowed to happen. Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start trial, you lose your right to stand. I'll be right there. It's happening then. My first trial in the British court. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea how I'm going to manage this. So this is the highest court of Great Britain, the Old Bailey. The centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different than the Supreme Court in Japan. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Miss Naruto? Oh, yes, what? Your eyes look ready to pop out your head again. I know, but I just can't help it. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecutor and defense to declare the willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared. That must be the Reaper at the Bailey. He really does look prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Huh? Oh, yes, of course, sorry. But he asked if the defense was ready, and I couldn't be further from ready if I tried. Those eyes please me, Nipponese. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of the herd. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. Ugh, a cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes. Now, Mr. McGilded. Yes, my lord. You stand accused of murder, a capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to trust your defense to this order? As I've always said, my lord, 'tis a grand thing to give opportunities to the young, even if the fellow is a student from a little island off in the Far East. Is it not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give these less fortunate a fair chance? I like to think that the acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. That's definitely welcome news, and he certainly has a way of words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. I'll unclely put Mr. McGilded in most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been selected for impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? Yes, my lord. The task is to send routers to the gallows where they belong more than ready. At the matter, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish properly. Naturally, I agree. Ha! Any criminals here will be suing, wishing they never set eyes on me. Okay, just don't say anything. I feel chill.
Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on my knitting. Must finish these mitts for my grandson.
Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, those people are the jury. Yes, there's something we don't have in Japan yet. That's right, I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentence according to law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. So the defendants ultimately the judge from 2 completely different points of view. But how exactly the jurors get their verdict? That I don't know, but I'm sure it'll become clear as the trial progresses. Yes.
Prosecutor Van Zeeks?
My lord.
It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the class courtroom. I thought you were announced your fame.
I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity.
So, what brings you back? I can't get over switching voices or this. Is there some change in circumstance of which the court should be aware?
I leave that to your imagination, my lord. So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback? Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo.
As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please.
Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. We must be the only ones in here who aren't aware. The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks known as the community as Thrice-Fired Mason. Sorry, Thrice?
He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired here are said to be almost indestructible. The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in surface on the streets of London at the time. A dagger diamond thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death.
Here's the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard.
Thank you, Consul. I should accept that and the photograph as evidence. The autopsy report has since entered.
And one further item of evidence. Prosecution wishes to submit these as well.
And these are... Good lord! On my wig stashed! Is that blood, Consul?
Yes, my lord, seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. What? Mr. McGilda's gloves had blood on them?
Yes, I'll accept these as evidence as well.
Alright. How did I get into this? I'm back to the corner before I even started. Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2? Obviously, one of these passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. The other was the accused, Magnus McGilded.
Well, rather dandy circumstances to say the least. Defendant, what say you?
Well, of course, I'm no recollection of such thing. Mr. McGilded. To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening, but whenever I'm in the carriage, I'm taken with first tiredness, and I always succumb to it.
Are you claiming to have been asleep?
Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord. Little thing so it is, when I open my eyes again. 'Twas a desperate sight before me, the body of a man I never laid eyes on before me life. Now I ask yous, what good-hearted soul would have rushed to help a fellow bleeding from his stomach? I was about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. So the blood got in the gloves then, after the man had been killed. Unfortunately, that statement of the driver is only the beginning. What? That's not all of it? There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment in which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed.
Order! Order!
When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage, and there were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused.
Thank you, Counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think, whoops.
Your wish is my command.
I think we're here testimonies or witnesses, first of all.
Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once. Witnesses, your name and occupations.
My name is, well, everyone calls me Beppo. I drop it home omnibus in the East End.
Bruce Fairplay. I'm a banker in the city.
My name's First. Lady First. I, make hats for gems.
Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present at the stand were in an omnibus and witnessed to the aforementioned incident. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Quite right.
Yes, sir. That's right, sir. Very well, then. Let's proceed with your former testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw.
Okay, guys, I think that'll be it for part 7 of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. That went on a little too long, so sorry about that, but I really just want to just see what the court is like and just want to try out different voices. So yeah, it took a little while. I hope you guys like I hope you guys like the judge's voice I tried out, like rah, rah. And then I'm not really sure about Van Zeke's voice. Like doing his voice is gonna be the death of me, but I'll do my best. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.